what's up guys, it's the Insane Game Manic here, back at it again with another Pokemon 2019 episode review. I think most people call this series like Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I don't feel like that's the proper thing to call it because of how touch and go it feels like, no pun intended. But I wanted to talk about episode 21. Technically, I guess this is the start of a new season. Even though they kept the same opening and we have the new ending. But I'm going to treat it as like the first episode of season 2. At least the way I'm looking at it personally. And I will personally say this episode is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I like the fact that we get a reference to Elm, which when the hell was the last time Elm was brought up in a fucking episode? I'm dead ass. Like, I don't remember the last time they've used Elm in anything outside of Johto. I think that's the first time we've seen a picture. Now, granted, it's just a picture of Elm, but I like the fact that they tied in a reference that's true to the games. That Elm's focus and study is on, like, breeding. I mean, Gen 2 is the baby Gen. It's the Gen that has all the baby evolutions. And it's focused on, like, eggs and whatnot. I also like that they kind of brought up the lore of the games. To me, that was already cool in its own right. And then they decided to... And I should have seen this coming, considering we already got the previews that show Karina coming back in some way, shape, or form. They brought back the aura concept that we haven't... I don't think I've seen since movie 8. I think since the Lucario and Mystery of Mew movie. That was the last time the aura concept was... Now, granted, they never directly call it aura. Like... Essentially, what I'm referring to is that if you watch the movie, and I'm pretty sure in the arc in Diamond and Pearl that involve Riley is his name, and his Lucario and that whole thing, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember the Diamond and Pearl stuff, but I know for the movie, it was canonical that like Ash had aura to some degree. And this episode essentially re-references that he has aura. They never call it aura, but he has aura, essentially. And it's funny because of the whole, the Riolu hatches, but the Riolu was responding to Ash in the beginning when he was having the battle with the Tauros trainer. And I was like, oh, so it's like he can feel his aura, and like, Ash can sense it and Riolu can sense it, and that's what's kind of like clicking. But of course, Riolu was in the egg, so his body was just reacting to the aura. And it wasn't until like Ash expressed it when he was outside the egg, when they're fighting the Onyx at the end of the episode, that Riole's like, "Oh shit, you're the dude with the aura that I was sensing a while ago." It's also funny that they were canonical that like, oh, the egg came from Sinnoh, but it kept getting passed to daycare owner until it got to Nurse Joy, because it wasn't just fucking hatched. I like a lot of the references. They even touched on like egg moves, which tripped me the fuck out. Where they were Professor Sakuragi mentions the whole story of like the Jigglypuff that you sing around the egg, and then the egg hatched as a Zoroark, and the Zoroark could use sing just like Jigglypuff. I don't think it's exactly egg moves, but it's the closest thing to an egg move reference we've gotten, which is cool as fuck. I fuck with that shit so hard. I fuck with the aura reference and the fact that like Ash has a different sense about things than Go does. And they reference the fact that he already's had an egg before. I kind of wish they had referenced him knowing Elm. He never, like, the way Elm is mentioned in the episode, they never mention, oh yeah, but I know Elm. But it's never, like, deconfirmed either. That, oh, I've never met Elm before. Like, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road situation. But I really appreciate the fact that, like, it was like a bunch of small little callbacks and things that I don't think egg moves have been referenced in the anime at all, to my knowledge. Because eggs aren't used that much in the anime. I think after Johto, they're not used at all. I think the next time they're brought back up is in Best Wishes. And in Best Wishes, it's only used for Scraggy, and it's not used in the same tier. And the fact that his Riolu's personality is that he's kind of a stubborn dick. He's prideful, but and they kind of went into his instinctual, like, because the moment where he hatches the egg, he attacks Ash with Vacuum Wave and he runs off. And that, like, Riolu gets stronger if he's working with a trainer that has, like, strong aura. So I'm almost like, oh shit. So, like, because Ash is, like, the only one. Ash or other characters who have strong aura are, like, the ones who can get the most out of, like, a Riolu and / Lucario's power. Because his Vacuum Wave did more damage once Ash and him were working together. Although you can tell he's, like, he's very stubborn. I just like the fucking episode. I can't even, it's like I think this is probably like one of my favorite episodes. Just because there's a bunch of callbacks and references to shit. It's a nice episode that ties in like old school Ash and his aura abilities and referencing Elm, having talking about eggs, which is a reference to Johto in itself. And then the fact that and then even bring up like essentially an egg move conversation. Koharu's in this episode and actually isn't like annoying, but she's not in the episode a lot, but she's there. It does a good balance at the beginning of tying in everything from the beginning of the episode to the end of it. Like when the battle first started with Ash, I was kind of like, this seems kind of random, and then like, oh shit, it's the aura. They're using the battle to kind of represent an aura reference, but like Ash is still furthering his goal by having like an official battle. So I was like, oh, killing two birds with one stone. The Go Catch allows him to do something still, and it seems like the next episode preview is going to be Go focused. It also seems like it's going to be like a bye-bye Pikachu situation where like essentially Go gets super insecure and like feels that maybe Raboot would be better off by himself and with Go. Essentially what they did with Ash and like in the early seasons of the Kanto region. I think it was like the first 20-something episodes, I want to say, actually. It was I almost want to go back and look to see what specific episode it was. And but it's really close to where it is here. The episode in general is just good all around. It's kind of, and it's interesting because this is like his first. I also like the fact that his Dragonite seems to be the very cuddly type. And we already knew that, but I like how it's re-referenced here again. We didn't see his Gengar at all. I think that was the only thing I was a little disappointed by. I wish he had used Gengar against Tauros because Gengar has moves that could have hit Tauros. That's just a personal thing though. And I see why they did it with Pikachu. So I'm curious how Riolu's going to be moving forward. But this episode was better than what I thought it was going to be, so I'm pretty happy about it overall. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's really it. The episode next week will be some Go development, which he sorely needs because I'm kind of like with him. Like I've already kind of discussed Go in the last video, so I won't reiterate that. Just know that like I'm looking forward to getting Go episodes that kind of expand on his character. Because realistically, I don't know how many. I'm curious how people feel in the comments. Like Go catching Pokemon is not that interesting because it's literally the basic. I throw a ball, nice, great, and then he catches the mime. And all he caught this episode was an Execute. Although we do get to see some other Pokemon. But like for me personally, I just want more from Go and do something with Koharu because it's so jarring. I'm curious still if any of the ending Pokemon we've been seeing are going to pop back up as like legit catches. We'll see. It's also funny because I think they're in the Hoenn region next week. Yeah, because I think that's where the Beautifly scene in the preview is where it comes from, is this episode probably too, mixed with, I guess, like the reboot stuff. So we'll see how the reboot episode goes and see what developments strive from that, but we'll see. So anywho, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Like I always say, life's a game. Play to win. And I will catch you guys later. Peace. Oh. And remember, you're not having a little bit of fun if you're not going a little bit crazy. That's not the whole. I messed up the line. Don't question me on it. I almost failed too. This is a song professional. I'm sick of this shit. But hopefully I'll get better.